Hello, 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 hello. Happy rainy Sunday. Hi, Dad. Welcome to Sunset Beach Yoga. If you're here from Meetup, oh, give me a moment here. Gotta turn my 1 second. Let me make sure that the Bluetooth is still hooked up. Tell me how the audio is for you. If you have the ability, please just give me a little feedback with audio if you could. I'm trying to have it streamed to my phone so that you guys can hear me because YouTube streams a little better when I use the AirPods. Just give me a heads up or a thumbs up, or if you can, maybe a little comment. Otherwise, we'll just keep going here. And adjust my camera. So if you're new to YouTube Live or any of these classes that I've been doing on YouTube Live, welcome to my YouTube channel. You do have an opportunity to subscribe to it. And if you'd like to get any notifications when I'm going live again, or if I post anything, thank you, Erin, for that update. You can do that. All of the classes that most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, most of the classes I've been doing here on live are also archived in this channel. So you can look through, I have a playlist of previously recorded live classes that you can do at your leisure at any time. You can share them, all that fancy jazz. I have been holding these classes by donation. If you'd like to contribute, I didn't add it in this video, but I can put any donation links if you guys would like to contribute anything for these classes. And yeah, that's about it. Cool. Thank you, Ron, for the update as well. There's a little bit of a delay between my stream and your guys' response. So if it feels like I'm a little bit delayed in answering your messages, it's because there's a little bit of lag between the stream and my voice, and you guys rather. Okay, so it's about 7 after right now. I'm gonna give it a second. Oh, and the other thing too, you guys, if you had been here from my classes before, and then wondered why they just suddenly stopped, I got my phone actually left its body. It transitioned, and I got a new phone since then. But I went about a week without a device, which is crazy in 2020, right? But not so bad. I actually fared pretty well. I had my computer, but I couldn't stream any classes. So for that week, without having a phone, I didn't do classes, and then I just kind of fell off because I was so immersed in music production on my computer. So we're back now, thanks to the rain. Okay, you guys. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. Let me make sure this is trying my best picture. I know it's difficult because this is actually a small room and I'm using a wide angle attachment lens, and it still sometimes doesn't get everything, but all right. So go ahead and find yourself on your mat, wherever you are, in your homes, in your spaces. If you guys want to use your props, I don't happen to have my yoga strap with me. If you happen to have any props, just go ahead and place them nearby. And if we use them for any reason, I'll tell you how to use them, okay? Let's start in a comfortable cross-legged or any kind of seated position that suits you today. And before we get into our bodies, let's take a moment to just ground into our intention for our practice, coming into our breath, coming into the space in general. It's always important. You can place your hands on your knees, palms facing up. If you feel good to place them on your body, you're welcome to place your hands over your belly and heart as well, or maybe two hands over your heart center. I want you to do whatever is called for you, whatever is feeling called to you in this moment. Close your eyes, close your mouth. And let's take a deep breath together. So nice full inhale. Breathe in through your nose. Pause at the top, sit up as tall as you can, and very slowly let it out of your nose. Let's do that 2 more times. Long, full, deep breath in, filling your belly, your ribs, and your chest. All the way full, a little bit more breath if you can. And then really slowly exhale it out of the nose. And then let's activate the Ujjayi Pranayama on this last breath here. So we'll take a deep breath. Inhale, fill your belly, your ribs, and your chest. Get as full as you can. Get as tall as you can in your seat. And like you're fogging a mirror with your mouth closed, make that long exhale, that ha sound in the back of your throat. Yes, release your hands to your knees, palms facing down if you haven't already. Nice full breath in, fill your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And then on your exhale, go ahead and start to round your back into a cat spine, curling onto your tailbone, onto your sits bones, holding onto your knees, and just leaning back as you tuck your chin in, a little bit of a cat spine here, creating space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, let's come forward, rolling the chest up, lifting the chin, looking up. One more time, exhale, leaning back, chin to the chest. Squeeze the breath out. And again, inhale, coming forward, opening the chest. Now another option here, if you want to place your hands behind your back, pressing into your fingertips. Roll your pelvis forward, get a little more of a back bend there, maybe a little lift even off the earth. And exhale back to center, coming up to a nice tall spine. From here, let's go ahead and bring right hand out to the right, open the left arm up and over, stretching that left side body, soften your elbow, soften your neck. You can bring your pointer and thumb to touch, or if you'd like to place your hand behind your head, go ahead, bend your elbow and open up that left side a little bit more. If it ever hurts your neck to look up, you can look forward or down. Soften those shoulders. One more breath in. We're sticking with the Ujjayi breath now. Exhale. On your inhale, come back up nice and slow. Switch left hand down, right arm reaches up. Pointer and thumb can touch. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach over with a soft elbow, soft shoulder. You can place your hand behind your head as well. And remember, you can look up, forward, or down. Make it more about elongating that right side, staying grounded in the hip. Let's take one more full deep breath in. Long exhale, mouth closed. Back to center one more time, coming up. Inhale, bring those hands behind the back again, fingertips onto the earth, bringing your hips forward, lifting your chest, opening up the throat. Deep breath in. And exhale, coming back to center. Good. Bring your hands forward on the earth, rolling up to all fours, if that's okay on your knees. Otherwise, doing whatever you need to modify. So coming up to your hands and knees, open up those knees a little wider than your hips. So maybe the width of the mat for some of you. Let's go ahead and come into dancing lion. So just making circles to the right. Inhale forward and exhale back. Let's really come into our breath now. So if you weren't really fully connected with your breath, use it here as you come forward, breathing in, and as you come back, breathing out. If your breath, for whatever reason, is asking for something different, if you're really tuned in and listening, and it is asking for something different, then also allow yourself to have that breath it's wanting to do. Let's go one more rotation in this direction, and then we'll switch. Pause and go the other direction. Exhale back. So we're really just circulating hips, shoulders. If you want to roll your head around, that's good. Getting some clicking and popping is normal as we open up the joints. Moving the spine around, getting that synovial fluid flowing. Let's come into one more circle and then back to center. When you're ready, finding your way to the center of your mat. Bring your knees underneath your hips now directly. So we're in a nice, perfect tabletop position. Hands should be directly under the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Go ahead one more time. Let's come into a dog tilt. So we're going to tilt our hips up toward the sky. Pull the shoulders back. Look up. Bring your gaze to the ceiling. Bring your chin up toward your gaze. And exhale in the opposite direction. Untuck your toes. Press firmly through the palms. Chin comes to the chest. Feel your abdominals drawing in and up. Exhale all the way. Let's do that again. Inhale, tucking the toes, pulling your hands towards your knees. Open the chest, gaze. And again, exhale. Press firmly into the palms. All the way out. Completely exhale all the way. And then back to neutral again. Now it's important here, we're going to spread the fingers, pressing through the finger pads nice and firm. Make sure the chest doesn't dip down. You want to press firmly into the hands. Pull your navel in and up, so we're already creating a nice long spine. Go ahead and press one foot back, press through the heel, and then the other meeting in plank. Now, if plank is ever too hard for you, you can always come to the knees, but notice I didn't come back. See if you can keep your shoulders forward over the palms. So finding plank, just waking up the core a little bit more. And again, if you notice you're sagging in the shoulders, see if you can press firmly through the hands, spreading the upper back, holding, just waking up that midsection, waking up the legs even. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, lift your hips up and start to draw the hips back for your downward facing dog. Now, if you're practicing on carpet and your hands, your wrists get sore, you guys, you can always modify your downward facing dogs as well. Coming to puppy on your knees. Otherwise, let's go ahead and press the hips back, heels down, paddle the legs a little. Let's start by bending back firmly through that left heel. Nice long breath there. Take an inhale. Exhale, switch. Right heel presses back. Left knee bends. Draw the right hip away from that right hand and shoulder. Take a breath through the nose. And exhale, switch again. So this is a vinyasa practice, which means we're moving with breath. It is a little more of an athletic practice. It's flow. So if you ever need rest, you can take it. Inhale back to center. And exhale, switch. Good. We're going to come to center and lift to the toes. So everyone, inhale high on your toes. Lift your hips, lift your heels. You can gaze forward a little bit, and on your exhale, press. Feet are parallel, gazes between your ankles in your downward facing dog. Head is nice and relaxed. Good. Let's come to plank, coming forward. Shoulders come over the palms. Nice and strong through that midsection again. No sagging in the hips or with the shoulders. Keep pressing firmly. One more breath here, holding. And now if you need to, you can lower to your knees. Otherwise, we're going to shift forward onto the toes. Bend the elbows nice and slow. Keep them hugging into the body and lower to the earth, all the way down. Untuck your toes. Now open up your feet a little bit, maybe the width of the mat, maybe even a little bit wider. We're going to come into little cobras here. So feet are wide on your inhale. Go ahead and pull the shoulder blades back. All right, gaze forward, lift up just a little bit. So it's all about opening up that front body, squeezing the shoulders back. Exhale, lower. With your breath again, inhale, extend through those legs. If you want to come to your finger pads this time, maybe you can come a little higher. Exhale, lower back down. If you feel any compression in your lower back, don't come so high. Make it more about engaging that back body. On your inhale again, extend through strong legs. Cobra. You do not have to come up as high as me. Please be comfortable wherever you are, even if it's down toward the earth more. And then exhale when you're ready, lower back down, rolling down to the ground. Good. Bring your hands flat to the ground. Walk your feet in hip width apart. Tuck your toes under. We have two options. One, press up with your elbows in, coming to all fours. Or two, lift your knees and see if you can press up to reverse plank without your knees. Inhale up. Ooh, I haven't practiced in like a week or more. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Into the Ujjayi breath, everyone. Mouth closed. Breathe in through the nose. Belly inflates. Good, let's go ahead. Come to the toes today. Walk the feet up to the hands. Don't move your hands. See if you can get those feet all the way up to the hands. Lower the heels and hang in a nice, comfortable, loose ragdoll position. Soft knees, soft neck, soft facial muscles. Feel free to clasp your opposite elbows. Whatever you're doing, you're not pressing against the ground. Go ahead and soften your knees. Let everything hang. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable and sway if that's nice. Side to side, I like to do a little sway here. We'll spend at least 3 more long Ujjayi breaths here. Swaying right and left if that feels good for you. Otherwise, just staying at center and enjoying that nice passive lengthening and traction of the lower back, the hamstrings. Even the weight of your head is tractioning your neck, the cervical spine. Super beneficial. All right, you guys. So if you're in a sway with me, let's all sway to the right side to start. Go ahead and bring all your weight into that right foot. Let all your body weight fall, but don't lift your left foot. Just kind of melt into that right side. Long breath through the nose. Inhale. We're going to switch to the left. Nice and slow. Let everything melt. Nice inhale on that left side. See if you can really let the shoulders melt. Let your head get a little heavier. Let your facial muscles soften as you exhale. Give your weight to the earth. Sometimes that's the work. Back to center. Come to your fingertips or bring your hands to your shins and find the longest spine you can. So we're going to activate the core to do that. So as you come up, hamstring. So you're getting a hamstring stretch, but you're also pulling the ribs in so you feel the core nice and tight. Gazing slightly out in front of you. Toes are spread. Nice full breath in. One more inhale. On your exhale, take it forward, folding into those legs. Inhale again, go ahead and lengthen your spine. Finding that length, let's go ahead and bend the knees like you're going to sit back into a chair. So the hips go back. The weight is even in the feet. Toes are spread. If anything, weight goes back toward the heels. Inhale, let's start to bring those hands up for Utkatasana. So hands are up and over the head. Bring the weight further back to the heels. So if you're heavy in your toes, I want you to draw your weight back. Lift those hands up like you're holding a beach ball above your head. Inhale all the way up to standing. Big breath, reach up. On your exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze the shoulders back, open the chest. Back up to center. Release your hands down by your sides. Now, before we come forward more, we're going to bring hands behind the back and do another little back bend because I feel like we could probably all use a little more back bending. I know I could. Hands to the lower back, pressing into the hands. Bring your hips forward. Navel draws in and up. Squeeze your elbows back. Go ahead and find some kind of back bend. It doesn't have to be deep. It can just be a hips forward, keeping the core tight. Maybe you're just looking up a little. Doesn't have to be huge. Big breath. And exhale again. Back to center. Release your hands down by your sides. On your inhale, sweep the arms up. But as we do that, before we come up, sorry, I paused. I want you to really understand the grounding element of the feet. So spreading the toes, lifting the arches, and feeling the energy actually lifting through the inner thighs, especially whenever we reach up and out like this. If you can really feel the energy come down from the, or come up rather from the earth, rooting and then lifting up as you breathe in. So rooting through the feet, reaching the hands up toward the sky, and exhale, press the air down around you like you're swimming through water. We're going to do that a couple times intentionally again, grounding and rising up with the breath, and then exhale with your Ujjayi breath, like fogging a mirror with the mouth closed. One more time. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, all the way up, reaching up. Go ahead and let's interlace and clasp the opposite elbows today. So instead of reaching up for the hands, let's do the elbows. We're going to reach up through the elbow points. Inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, keeping the tailbone slightly tucked, lean over to the right. Now you can cradle your head in that right arm, in the bicep. And go ahead and bring that left elbow toward the sky. Good. And then back up to center. Switch which elbow you're grabbing. So whichever one was in front, go ahead and switch. Might feel weird. Inhale, it's good. Reach up. On your exhale, lean over to the left. So right elbow's up, opening up that right side, cradling the head in that left arm. Back up to center. Release your hands. Inhale, bring them up, fingertips to the sky. Open the fingers. And then exhale, release the arms, nice and slow. Clasp your hands behind your back this time, interlacing those fingers. And on your inhale, draw the knuckles down as you bring your hips forward, opening the chest. Hands over the head. Now bring some weight toward your toes, so toward the front of the feet. And see if you can get those hands up a little higher and behind your back a little bit more. So maybe one day those hands touch the ground. Just kidding. One more breath in. And exhale all the way. Let your hands come down, sliding them down to the earth, letting go of everything. Do a little shake of your head, yes or no. Nice full breaths. If you want a little more, you can always clasp your hands gently behind your head and tuck your chin. Be very gentle with that. Good, and then release. Hands down to the ground or to your shins, lengthen, find that flat back again. So engaging the core, shoulders back, Ardha Uttanasana. Then we'll bring palms down, step back to a plank position again. Nice strong plank. Really engaged through the body. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Feel free to use your knees, remember, but keep your chest forward. Elbows come into the body as you lower down. We're going to come through to upward facing dog this time. Those of you who did Chaturanga, come straight through. Otherwise, if you want, shoulders back, scooping yourself through, pulling the shoulder blades back and down. In upward facing dog, we're looking up, shoulders down, pressing into the tops of your feet. And then exhale, tucking the toes, lift the hips up, press back, downward facing dog. Right into the Ujjayi breath. Make sure that head and neck is soft. Good, let's go ahead and come forward to plank and come into a side plank. So from here, we're gonna stack on the right side of the mat. Left hand can come to the hip first if you want, or just go ahead and bring it to the sky. We're gonna turn our dristi, that means our gaze, up toward the left hand. Stay here. If it's please feel free to lower a knee, or you can even step your left foot in front of you as an option. Left arm is gonna come up and over the head. Breathe here. See if you can pick that right hip up a little bit more away from the earth. Keep the breath steady. Keep your facial muscles soft. If you want to lift your left foot, any other variations of side plank, you're welcome to. One more breath. Woo. Left arm up, inhale. Lower the foot, lower the hand, come to plank. Press back for downward facing dog. Let that go. When you're ready, we're going to come forward and do the other side. Now, again, rolling to the left, or you can always come right down to the left knee. Do what suits you today. Right arm up, drishti, focal point of the eyes, up toward the hand if possible, right hand over the head. And again, those different side variations were to also, you could bring your right foot out in front of you. Stay here. Lift your left hip further from the ground if possible. Another foot if you did it on the other side. One more breath in. Lower the foot, lift the hand, exhale, hand to the ground, find plank. Nice breath in. We're going to lower for Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale, shoulders back. Lift your chest, gaze up. Exhale back, downward face. Right into the breath. Nice full inhale. Long exhale, press your hips back, press your heels down. Come to the toes. Bend the knees, look forward, and on your exhale, step, jump, or hop forward. Feet come together at the top of your mat. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Find that Ardha Uttanasana as you breathe in. Exhale, fold. Good, let's rise to standing. You can bend the knees if you need to, otherwise navel draws in and up. Arms come out and up, touch the palms above your head. On your exhale, like wings, open them up. Hands come all the way down by your sides. Take a moment, bring your hands back to heart center for Tadasana. Please feel free to close your eyes here. Take a moment to feel your body, feel your breath. Feel those systems. Take a moment to slow it all down. There's one thing you can consistently practice through an asana practice. It is steady breathing. If you find at any point your breath becomes too short or shallow, or you cannot control it anymore, please feel free to take rest. Otherwise, we're going to move on, continuing to try to keep that Ujjayi breath going, even as that nervous system starts to get a little stimulated. All right, go ahead and bend the knees, finding Utkatasana. Weight comes through to the heels. Inhale, sweep the arms up, shoulders stay down, hands are reaching to the sky, hips are pulling down to the earth. Gazing forward or maybe up through the hands if it doesn't hurt your neck. Staying strong through the legs, staying steady with the breath. Focused with the eyes. Take one more inhale. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Draw yourself in. Finishing the breath out as you hug yourself into the legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Palms come to the ground, and on your exhale, walk, step, or hop back to plank. It's your choice. We're going to lower to Chaturanga again. Inhale through to upward facing dog or Cobra. If upward facing dog isn't for you, exhale back to downward facing dog. We're still warming up a little. Right leg up. Keeping left heel down. If that's too much for you, please feel free to lower to your left knee. That's always a nice option. Either way, right leg lifts to the sky. Keep that leg strong. Flex the foot. Let's rotate the hip up. So rotate the right hip open to the right. Bend your right knee. So maybe you can roll the shoulder up for a second, but then we're going to lower the right shoulder toward the ground, keeping that right hip open. So maybe now looking under your left shoulder. Extend your right leg up and lower the leg halfway down. Flex your foot though, like you're pressing the heel back to the wall behind you. Hold. Right knee to the nose, round and curl. Stay here. Let's bring right knee to left tricep. Oof. Right knee to right tricep. Right leg backing up in the air. Inhale. Let's step right foot between the hands. Exhale. All the way up. Lower that knee. Hopefully you're still breathing. Shoulders soften. Pressing back through that left heel gently. And then we're going to lift that back knee. So go ahead and extend that leg nice and long. So if you need, you can always come to yoga blocks to find a little more lift. Otherwise, staying low, pressing through that heel. Nice extension through that front left hip flexor. Go ahead and gaze out in front of you or straight forward. Another breath. Going a little slower here. And we're going to slowly come up if possible. Nice and strong through this right hip. Right hand to the hip, left hand to the hip. Press up. If that was too much for you, you can lower to the knee first. Do the same thing. And then maybe if you feel the strength, press back through the heel. Otherwise, we're here in a nice low lunge. Release your hands. Shoulders pull back. Inhale, arms up. Fingers spread. Exhale if you want. Bend your elbows, squeeze those shoulder blades back. So if palms are open, fingers are spread, you can pulse that upper back a little bit or just hold steady and start to bring your gaze up toward the sky. Take one more breath here. Exhale, hands back down to the ground. Right foot back to plank. Go ahead, pick it up, bring it back, and lower down. Chaturanga. Exhale, chest stays forward. Inhale, upward facing dog or Cobra. And again, remember, Cobra is down here. Take your time coming back to downward facing dog. Mouth stays closed, you guys. I know sometimes it's hard. Use your Ujjayi breath. Left leg is going to lift up this time. Grounding the right foot. Roll that left hip open. Again, you can do this on your right knee. So if you don't want to come into a three-legged downward facing dog, you can do it on the knee. Go ahead and bend your left knee. Open up that left hip a little. Pull that left heel in. You can look under that left shoulder if you're in a three-legged downward facing dog. But then let's go ahead and lower the left shoulder. And look under the right shoulder. Breathe. Extend your left leg up. Lower the leg halfway down and flex your foot like you're pressing the heel back behind you. Reach back. Straighten your right leg too. Left knee to the nose. Exhale. Left knee to right leg backing up in the air. Inhale. And then we're going to bring left foot between the hands. Exhale all the way up. Take your time. Lower that back knee. Find a moment to open the chest. Fingertips ground alongside that left foot. And when you're ready, extend back through that right heel one more time. So extending through the heel, feeling the front of that right hip get a nice stretch right into the hip flexor. As you press the hips forward and draw back through the heel, you should feel it. I sure do. All right, from here, we're going to start to bring some more weight into left foot. Press down through the big toe. Slide your left hand to the hip crease. Right hand to the hip. Press strong into the left foot and come up. If that was too much for you, do that with your knee down. Do the same thing. If you feel confident here, then press back through the heel. Once you have that hands down, fingers spread, shoulders back. Inhale, lift the hands. You can stay here. You can bend your elbows, squeeze them back. You can pulse, opening that chest, or hold and just find a little more lift. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Framing that foot, left foot comes back to plank. Inhale first, exhale, lower. Elbows hug the body. Inhale through to Cobra or upward facing dog. Coming to the tops of your feet if you're in upward face. Looking up, exhale. Back to downward facing dog. Draw back. All right, I think we should be a little warm now. I am. Drawing back through those heels. When you're ready, come high on the toes again. Breathe in. Look forward, bend your knees, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. So maybe you're just feet together. Inhale, find some length again, halfway up. Nice long spine, shoulders back. Bend your knees if you have to. And then exhale, fold. To come up this time, go ahead and bend both knees. Bring the weight to the heels. Inhale to Utkatasana, hands up, shoulders down, hips low. Hold. Exhale, lower down, folding forward. Shoulders back, inhale, come up halfway. Now we're going to move. Hands down, walk, step, or jump back. Lower down, Chaturanga, exhale, take your time. Cobra or upward facing dog, inhale. Moving with your breath, exhale, back, downward face. Now we're going to do one breath, lifting right leg up. Full breath in as you do that. Exhale, step right foot between your hands all the way up. Turn your back heel in, ground the foot, we'll rise up to grounding your foot, bend right knee over the ankle, lift the hands over the head. Shoulders square forward in the same direction that you're looking and drawing down. Good, we'll do a couple breaths here. Try not to find a back bend. If you're here, let's see if we can tuck the tailbone under. Pull your ribs in, ground through the big toes, and press firmly through that back heel. Nice, one more breath in. And then exhale, go ahead and clasp your hands over your head. Interlace your fingers, cross your thumbs, pointers to the sky. We're going to reach the hands forward over that right leg. See if you can make one line from your left foot all the way through the hands. Hold nice and strong, shoulders pulling back away from the ears. Nice steady breath, one more inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground, frame the foot, left heel up, right foot to plank, lower down. Choose Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale, I'm going to go to Cobra. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Getting a little cardio in this one. Left leg up, inhale, full breath. Inhale. Exhale, left foot between the hands with your breath. If you can, swing. Right heel swivels in, ground your foot, inner thigh is lifted, wait for your breath to rise up. All right, warrior one, find your drishti, find the gaze, find your breath, soften the shoulders. See if you can get a little stronger through your back leg. Try not to look around. Feel your posture, feel where you can improve it. Feel the tendency to want to escape this pose. Take one more breath in. Exhale, clasp your hands above your head, interlace those fingers, take the hands forward. And again, this time one line from your right foot through those pointer fingers, shoulders drawing back. Keep lifting those hands, try not to dip forward if you can. Reach out. One more breath in. Exhale, release, hands to the ground, left foot back to plank, lower down. Elbows hug the body, so make sure those elbows point back behind you as you lower. Upward facing dog or Cobra, inhale. Back to downward facing dog as you exhale. Nice, strong Ujjayi breaths. Let it and them power your practice today, especially when we do Vinyasa. Let's walk the feet to the hands, nice and slow. Take your time getting those toes behind your wrists. Separate those feet if they weren't. And again, find a nice passive fold. So passive, it means just hanging. No actively drawing yourself in yet. Go ahead and sway a little or just stay there and shake your head yes and no as you breathe deep, full breaths. One more complete breath in, all the way to the top of the inhale, and a really slow exhale out. Good, let's come to center. Slide your hands down to the ground, step your feet a little wider, turn your toes out, and come into a nice little squat. Finding Malasana, knees wide, hands to heart center, shoulders back and down. Go ahead and gaze forward, eyes. Work on pulling those shoulders down so you can lengthen the spine and open the knees at the same time. Now stay here, maybe 5 full breaths if you'd like to. Come with me, right hand down, left arm up, opening up, or bind left arm behind your back. Now you don't actually have to grab, but maybe your right fingertips reach in front and you can actually grab the left hand behind your back with your right fingertips. If not, just working on it, looking up as you pull that shoulder down. Nice full breath. Exhale, let's look forward and release. If you did that, do the other side. First, press into the palms to neutralize and switch. Left hand down, right arm up. Right arm behind the back, and if you'd like, left arm in front. Reach for the fingers, whether you have them today or not. Looking up and over the shoulder, pull the shoulder down. One more breath. Of course, my breaths are really long. Release. Back to center. Pressing into the palms one more time, everyone. Lengthen. And then exhale, bring the hands to the earth. Toes rotate forward, heels go wide. Let's find a passive fold with wider legs. So instead of the feet closer together, go ahead. And if you want to open up your feet a little more, please feel free. Just going ahead and passively folding here. If you want to go a little more active, you're welcome to grab your ankles, draw yourself in a little deeper. Use your Ujjayi breath. One more light, not long inhale in. Exhale, fold. Good. Let's go ahead and bring those hands forward, walking yourself forward. Bring your feet back to a plank position. Find your plank and exhale when you're ready, lower. Upward facing dog or cobra, inhale. Nice and strong, upper back. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good, you guys. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step the right foot between your hands. If you need to, lower your back knee down to the ground. Actually, you know what? Let's all lower the knee. Come down to that back knee, come up to the right knee with both hands, finding a little bit of balance here. Right hand comes to the outside of the right thigh, left arm is going to reach up. Take a full deep breath here. Inhale, reaching through the left hand. Exhale, bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Bring the palms to touch in a prayer position, coming into a twist here. Press into your left elbow, lift the chest, and exhale, twist. Gazing over that right elbow, maybe up toward the ceiling if possible. Next options, of course, we have a couple, a little more advanced, but if you'd like, left hand comes to the ground, right arm up, and another one would be to lift your back knee up off the earth. If you lose your balance, try not to lose the focus of your eyes or your breath. Find a place you can continue to maintain a nice smooth Ujjayi breath in, and hopefully a good sense of humor. One more breath. Finish your exhale. Be in no rush to come out of this. Like you came into it with as much grace and control, come back to center. Hold. Inhale wherever you are. Hold the lunge. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Bring your right foot back to plank. And lower down, Chaturanga. Upward face or cobra. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. I have to admit, those Chaturangas are not easy for me right now. Haven't done them for a little bit. Left leg up, inhale. Other side, left foot forward between the hands. Lower the back knee. Slowly come up to that left knee. So even our transitions, we're moving with control and as much grace as possible. If we lose our balance, no worries. Come right back where you were with your breath. Left hand to the outside of the thigh, right arm up, inhale. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee, exhale. Let's bring the palms to touch, staying with the breath. Inhale, press into your right elbow to lift the ribs from the thigh. Exhale, press into your left hand to twist, gazing up and over that left shoulder, pulling the shoulders down and back. Lock your eyes on one position. Stay here and breathe. Other options we did on the other side, right hand down, left arm up, or lifting the back knee up off the ground. Any variation of any of those options is fine as long as you can maintain your Ujjayi breath. Nice breath in. Finish your exhale. Come back to center. Hold your lunge. So whatever lunge you're in, whether the knee is down or not, hold your position. Breath in. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Left foot back to plank. Lower down on an exhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale. Back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Spread your fingers. Make sure those hands are flat, you guys. Pointers or middle fingers should be facing forward. All 10 fingers are spread. Hips are lifted. Legs are strong. Toes are spread. Let's come to the toes. Breathe in. Bend your knees. Look forward. Walk, step, or jump to feet to the hands. On your inhale, bring those feet together. Lengthen up halfway. Make time for the breath. Make space for the breath. Exhale, fold. We're going to come up to Utkatasana. Go ahead and bend the knees. Sink those hips down. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Stay in it. Hips down a little more. This time, bring the palms to touch. Cross the thumbs. Inhale, rise to standing. Fingers to the sky. On your exhale, if you'd like to take a slight back bend, hips forward, thumbs back. Back up as you inhale. Exhale slowly. Hands to heart center. Take a moment to pause in your Utkatasana. Feel free to close your eyes. Regulate your breath. Regulate your heart rate with your breath. Find or create space between your breaths. As we learn how to create spaces between our breaths, or even notice that those spaces exist, we learn that we have control over our reactions or our reactivity in our mind. So we start to be able to observe emotional responses that we have and mental reactions. And instead of just being in reactivity throughout our lives, through this practice, we are able to respond to external stimuli. Because we realize also through this practice, we're not in control of all the external circumstances, but we are in control of how we respond. When you're ready, go ahead and release your hands down by your hips. Roll the shoulders back, lifting the heart toward the sky. Keeping that nice posture, we're just going to go ahead and bring our weight to the left foot today. So coming into some balance. Now, as you bring your weight to the left foot, ground through your big toe, pinky toe, and heel. So make sure that, I just realized I'm not fully in the picture, so I'm just going to scoot back a little bit so I can be in the picture a little more here for you guys. All right. So pinky toe, big toe, heel. All right, nice and lifted through the center of your body. Imagine that your leg is kind of like a tree trunk and it's grounded and rooted into the earth. The rest of your body is a fun tree. Yeah, maybe we'll even do that pose. All right, excuse me. So we're going to lift the right foot, coming to the toes first. Lock your dristi in any point that is not moving, maybe somewhere on the ground, maybe somewhere out in front of you. And let's go ahead and bring the hands to the hips. Use your hands kind of as almost like an assist to help feel grounded through the hips. So pressing down almost with your hands, helping your hips and feet to feel grounded. Lift your right foot. And if you right away started to wobble, check in with your breath. The first thing that happens is we hold our breath when we start to lose something like our control, right? And if you start to feel wobbly, breathe. Relax into it, and you might find the balance becomes easier. From here, let's go ahead and pull that right knee in a little bit more. Both hands can grab that knee. Again, notice if you lost your balance, if that breath changed, see if you can keep it smooth. See if you're sagging anywhere, if you can stay grounded and lifted. And now let's come into tree since I mentioned it. Right foot can come to the inner, we have a few options, inner ankle, inner calf, or inner thigh of the left leg. So wherever you can get it, go ahead and place the foot. Now, very important, I'm going to turn towards you guys. Wherever you are here, make sure this right knee is pulling out to the right, staying grounded through that left foot, lifting up and rooted down at the same time. Eyes are not moving. From here, let's go ahead and bring hands to heart center if you haven't already. Staying here and breathing. And then let's go ahead and slowly start to bring the hands up and over the head. Letting the hands extend all the way up. You can cross your thumbs, really extend those fingertips toward the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and open up the hands. And as you open, lift the chest up. Press those hips forward a little. So tucking the tailbone to press the hips forward, keep the chest lifted. Take a moment when your hands are out from the center of your heart. So from the line from the center of your chest all the way through the hands, take a breath there. and then exhale. Let them start to come down in line with your hips. We're going to make a complete circle, bringing the hands back to heart center, finding Anjali Mudra where we started, bringing the right knee to come forward now. See if you can keep it lifted. Even if your right foot is on the ankle, bring your right knee forward. Lift that right knee up as high as you can. Good. And then extend that right foot forward, pressing that foot toward or just out in front of you. And then go ahead and lower it down. Let it go. Roll your ankles. Crack your toes. I like to crack my toes and notice a lot of stuff goes through my feet when I do balancing, and then they want to be released. Take a couple deep breaths if you feel like you need to shake, releasing any energy out through the legs down to the earth. I like to shake sometimes. And then we come to stillness again. So we're going to do the other side, pressing down through the right leg. Again, grounding through the big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Imagining that right leg is like a tree trunk coming to the left toes this time. Hands to your hips, pressing down firmly through those hips. Breath in, and then go ahead and just float the left leg up. So not even thinking about it too much. Just allow that left foot to float up from the earth. Finding balance on that one side, noticing if you're leaning back, if you're sagging anywhere, see if you can continue to lift up, get taller, press down through the right foot, and then go ahead and pull that left knee in as you stand up taller. A nice little squeeze to stretch that left hip a little bit more, and then let's come into tree pose. So go ahead and from here you can place this left foot to the inner thigh, not on the knee. Make sure it's either on the ankle, the calf, or to the thigh, but not on the knee. All right, left knee is drawing out to the left, pressing left foot firmly into the right thigh into the left foot. As you feel those two dynamics happening, you're going to feel a little more lift through the inner and upper body. Hands to heart center. Eyes can be, I was going to say eyes can be closed, but that's actually a little more advanced, although it is a good option. So stay with your breath. Eyes are steady. And let's start to lift the hands. Nice and slow. This is a good one. If you start to lose your balance, see what your response is. Do you get angry? Do you get frustrated? Do you laugh? Do you smile? A lot of the times we react in our asanas is how we react in life. So just notice that. Release your hands nice and slow. Once they come to be aligned with your heart, take a moment and pause. Take a breath right into the heart, right from the center of your chest out through the hands. Maybe lift your chest a little more there. Maybe lift your gaze. And then exhale, let it go nice and slow. Allow your hands to float down in line with your hips and slowly bring them back to heart center, no rush. Once they're there, bring your left knee forward, maintain your balance, but now we're going to lift that left knee up as high as you can and press that left foot out in front of you, working on straight, lifting up, standing up tall, and then exhale, let it go. All right, shake out the legs, the arches, the ankles, whatever you want to do here. Take a moment, shake it all out. Let out any of that excess energy out through the legs and feet, and then take a moment and stop. Pause, close your eyes for a moment. Just take a nice deep breath here. Just feeling the lightness of. And when you're ready, if your feet aren't already together, go ahead and step them together. Bring your hands back to heart center into Utkatasana, and we're going to flow from here. So inhale, arm sweep out and up. Remember, we ground down to reach up. Full breath to lengthen. Exhale, take it forward. Follow the exhale all the way out. Inhale, come up halfway. Make sure these breaths are good. Exhale, palms down, walk, step, or jump back to plank. And lower down on your exhale, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, exhale. Very good, you guys. What time is it here? All right. Right leg is going to lift up. Let's go ahead and lift that right leg up to the sky. Bring right knee to left tricep. Coming forward, doing a little more core. Right knee to right tricep. Right leg back and up in the air again. Full inhale. Exhale. Let's go ahead and step right foot up between the hands. Lower the back knee down to the ground. Coming down, take a moment, untuck your back toes. Walk your right foot out to the right. Bring your hand to the inside of the foot. So in a nice low lunge. All right. Now for this, a lot of people I know have tight hips. This would be where you could use some elevation. For some reason, I always grab one block, but it's nice to have two. I do have two, I just don't typically use them. But if you have two blocks and you want to place them under your hands for some extra elevation here, you're welcome to. It helps so that you don't have to round your back too far if your hips are tight. All right, also for a couple extra options. So from here, you guys, hips forward. First option, stay here on your hands. Second option, lower to your forearms or to a block or two blocks. So you can come down to the forearms here, breathing into those hips. And we're going to let this right knee come away from the body a little bit. So you can come back up to the hands here, turn your right toes out a little, let your let yourself roll to the outside of that right foot and let that right knee come away from the body. Different part of the hip here. I think I'm maybe out of the picture here, so I'll turn a little so you can see. Make sure the right foot is all the way up in line with the hands, okay, as you let that right knee come out to the right. The next option from here is to lower down. And then right hand can come to the right knee and find a little twist there. Now, if that's not available for you, you don't have to do that. Stay on your hands or come down to both forearms and just stay there. All right, you can do that too. A couple more breaths here. Please feel free to stay on the hands. I'm just going to do that because I can't see your guys' bodies and I wish I could, because I can tell you, each of you, which option would be for you by observing your body, but I can't. So I'm trying to just tell you what to do and hope that you're honoring your own body today. All right, everyone, come back up to the hands if you're not already there. We're going to take this right left, and we're going to come into pigeon. All right, so nice and slow. This is important. Again, right foot can come in toward the body first as you lower down to the right hip. All right, if you're more open in the hips, obviously, then the more parallel your shin will be to the front as you come into pigeon. Please do not force yourself into this position. However, if your hips are tight, it's not about getting that shin parallel. It's about getting your hips square, okay? Another option for this is a pillow or a yoga block under the right hip. Helps elevate you. Bam, look at that. So much better than torquing your knee to get into this pose. It's not about that at all. We don't want to create injury or stress. We want to create liberation in those hips. So for you, again, find what position you can be aligned in here with hips squared forward. That means your hip bones are pointing forward, not to the left. Okay? Get yourself in the position here. You can place your fingertips out in front of you, pull the shoulders back, lift your chest. If you're more open, like myself, again, it totally depends on your practice. Then those fingertips can start to walk back, and maybe you can find a little more back bend today. It's up to where your body is at. Please listen to it. Take a nice breath, finding some kind of lift or opening, a little bit of some kind of back bend, and then exhale at your pace. Take a full sleeping pigeon, nice and slow. And from here, we work on resting the head somewhere, either down on the hands, forearms, or maybe even on a block. So if you're way up here, even just having your head on a block. All right. Different options for you guys. Let's stay for a few more breaths though. So I want you to find your edge today in the pose. A few more breaths. If you find this place uncomfortable, I do want to add that this is these larger muscle groups, especially the hips, can store a lot of emotional energy. And when we get into them, they can stir some of that energy up, whether it's anger, sadness, whatever it is, frustration. And that stuff is usually the first stuff to come up. All right, so if that happens for you, also, again, observing your reaction to the pose, because stretching the body, there's nothing wrong with stretching the body, right? If now you're creating injury in some way or there's a joint discomfort, that's different. But if you're just getting into a muscle that is holding tension and your reaction is, ugh, or you're resistant to stretching it, then observe the mental resistance, observe your breath. Observe your emotional state. And the more we observe, then the more we have the choice to change those things. So even the breath, especially, if you notice you're holding it, is there a way you can deepen it? If you're breathing short and shallow, see if you can bring the breath into your belly. That's why we have the Ujjayi breath. Good, let's do one more breath here, melting in a little deeper into this hip. Very nice. Slowly coming up, taking your time. Today, we're going to make it easy. If you have something under the right hip, slide it out. We're going to just roll to the right hip. So from where you are, you're just going to roll onto the right hip. Yep. Now we're going to bring your hands back behind you, rather. All right. And then bring your left foot into the body. Extend your right leg out to the right. All right. So if that maneuver was tricky for you, I'll go again really slow from pigeon, roll to the right hip, come up, bring your left heel in, bring your right leg out, bam. Scoop the flesh from your sits bone. So lean forward, go ahead and scoop those fleshy parts out from under you so you can ground a little more through the sits bones here. All right, this is where you could use a yoga strap if you have one. Wrap it around your right foot or reach down, grab your ankle with your hands or your big toe with your peace fingers. Left hand is going to come to that left hip. Imagine that you're pressing, or actually press that left thigh down with your left hand. Make sure it stays down and go ahead and start to rotate up toward the sky as you pull the right foot toward your head. So we're going to rotate open, ribs roll open, shoulder rolls back, and you're just reaching over to that right foot. Nice elongated spine, elongated left side body, hopefully elongated right side body as well, because you're lifting up and over, breathing. From here, left hand can come up and over the head as well. Pointer and thumb can touch. Soft neck, looking up. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Good. From here, let's nice and slow bring left arm back up, pulling yourself back up to a seated position. Now, left hand is going to come back behind you about 6 inches. I'm going to turn a little so you guys can see me here. Left hand back behind you about 6 inches. We're going up and over the head as we lift up onto that left knee, lifting the hips from the ground. A little back bend here. It should feel really good. And then we're going to come back down. Sweeping our way back forward. So from here, go ahead and swing your left foot up to the right foot. Both legs together, facing forward, scoop those fleshy parts. So a little internal rotation of the thighs, sitting up nice and tall, arms up, inhale. Flex your feet, exhale, let's take it forward. We'll do a little fold here. Ujjayi breaths to assist. Nice long inhale. Pull those shoulders away from your ears, keep the neck long, keep the facial muscles soft. Exhale, fold in. Toes are flexed. Finish your breath out, soften, and walk your hands back. Let's bring them back behind you, about 6 inches. And yeah, let's keep those legs straight if possible. If you need to, you can bend the knees, but see if you can keep them straight here today. Spread, we're going to press into the heels of the hands when you're ready. On an inhale, lift your hips up. See if you can get those feet flat, lift those hips up higher, maybe drop the head back, opening the throat. One more breath, lift up a little more. And then exhale, slowly tucking chin back, lower back down to the ground. Very good. Bend your knees, cross your ankles, roll through. Let's do a little vinyasa here. Feet back, find plank. Exhale, lower. Upward facing dog or cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. A nice little reset. Full breath. Exhale back. Each breath should feel like a nice cold glass of water. Left leg up, inhale. Other side. Left knee to right tricep, exhale. Left knee to left tricep. Left leg back and up in the air. Deep breath in. And exhale, left foot all the way up between the hands. All the way, lower the knee. Walk your left foot over to the left side of your hand and let your hips drop forward. Soften your shoulders. From here, you can come down to your forearms or yoga block, or stay on your hands, or hands on 2 yoga blocks for elevation. Getting into the hips, both the front of the left and the outside of the left. Kind of a nice prep for pigeon. Good. So again, you can come to your forearms. You can stay up with me. From here, now we're going to turn left foot out just a little bit. And let the left knee come away from the body. Now, as you do that, I'm going to come back here because I can see I'm out of the camera again. As you bring your left knee out to the left, you can turn your body a little to the right, kind of moving away from your knee. And you can also turn to the left. So you can kind of move and explore the range of the hip there. Feeling your way through with your breath. So not doing it because I'm saying, but doing it because you're feeling your way through it. If you want to come down to your right forearm slowly, bring your left hand to your knee and find a little deeper twist as you press the left knee away from you. That's a nice option too for some of you who are prepared for that. Otherwise, staying at that first option is a great option as well. One more breath. And back up if you were down. And now we prepare to bring left foot over to the right. So go ahead and bring left knee back into the body. Walk your left foot over to the right side of the mat, and we're going to slide into pigeon. If you need to pull your left foot toward you first, please do so. If you want to place a block or a pillow over to the left for your hip, do that as well. I'm only showing you how. I don't actually use one usually. Sometimes I will if I'm really sore. But what we want to do in this pose essentially is, again, I explained it already, but if you missed it, both hip bones, left and right hip bones, facing forward. So if you're on your left hip like this in the pose, then your hips aren't square, right? But if you're forward, they're square. So if you need an assist with something under that hip, it's helpful. Do so. Otherwise, find where you are and we'll find a little lift. So even if your fingers are out in front of you, if you have a little more back bend, you can walk your hands a little further back and find a little more opening in that front body, pressing down through the top of your right foot, maybe lifting the chest, finding a nice back bend of some sort. When you're ready, taking it forward at your own pace, making your way down with your breath. And again, you can rest your forehead on your hands, on your forearms, or on a block. Different heights for the block, right? To support your neck, you can find any height that works for you. And let's come into our breath. I talked a lot on the other side, so I'm going to be quiet on this one. And I want you to just go into your own breath. Feel free to close your eyes. And I want you to become really intimate with your inner processes. That means your thoughts, your breath, your heartbeat. Good. We're going to do one more breath together here. Make it a good one. Allow yourself to meld with that exhale. Take your time coming back up. And we're going to roll onto the left. It's a good thing I talk a lot in my classes here because otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to teach very well. I would just be in la la land. Roll to the left hip, you guys. Take out whatever is there if you had something as a support, you see. And from here, we're going to swing right. Oh, wait a minute. This is what we did on the other side. Case closed. All right, so from here, roll to the left hip, right knee comes up. Now I'm facing the opposite direction, so I'll have to show you as I turn around. Right heel turns in, left leg out to the left. Okay, so it's the same exact maneuver we did on the other side, but obviously the camera is the other direction. So I'll show you here from the left hip. We come here, right heel is in, left leg is out to the left. So essentially all you need to know is left heel in, left leg out. All right, scoop the fleshy parts away from you and then go ahead and reach down with your left hand, grabbing the ankle, a yoga strap if you have it around the foot, or your big toe with your peace fingers, wrapping them, Grabbing like so, right hand to the hip, pressing down into that thigh. So again, remember you're like grounding your own hip here, lifting up and lengthening as you're reaching the head over toward the foot. So imagine that you're creating length through the side bodies, length through the internal body there, and then pulling yourself over to that foot. All right, from here, once you feel that, nice shoulders are soft, right arms coming up and over, pointer and thumb can touch, and then also reaching with that right hand. So you're creating your own length here through that whole side body. Staying grounded through that right hip though, as you reach and breathe. One more breath. Breathe right into those areas that you feel the most tension. As you inhale, see if you can bring that breath into those areas. And then exhale, lengthen more. Good. Let's come up. Right hand is going to come up like we did on the other side. Right hand comes behind you about 6 inches. Press into the palm, press into your right knee. Left arm is going to sweep up and over the head now, finding a little back bend, side bend thing here. Make it feel good. Nice breath. And back around, back onto that right hip. Now this time, right leg is going to swing to the front. Both legs are going to be forward on the mat like we did on the other side. Scoop the flesh from the sits bones again, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, take it forward, grabbing whatever you can. And again, if you have a strap, whether it's a yoga strap or any kind of strap, feel free, if you have tight hamstrings, to wrap it around the front of the feet, the balls of the feet here. Hold on to the strap, belly in and up, and pull the strap in, pull yourself in as you fold forward. So you don't have to round your back as much, okay? I know tight hamstrings can be difficult to do forward fold. So as you work with that, then the deeper and deeper, the more you choke down on the strap, eventually you grab the feet, and then eventually you can grab your wrist even. So we'll do one more breath here, wherever you are, you guys. Nice full inhale. Finish your exhale, shoulders back, melt in. And let's slowly start to come up, soften, and walk the hands back up to a seated position. Like we did, we're going to do the same thing again. Hands back behind you, pressing into the heels of your hands, point your toe. If you found that Purvottanasana was too hard for you, which means you couldn't get your feet flat like that, go ahead and bend your knees and do the bent knee variation. Otherwise, when you're ready, inhale up. See if you can get those feet down and flat, hips up, chest up, shoulders back, head back if it's okay. Staying here, one more breath. This is a really good, really beneficial pose. And exhale. Lower down to the earth. And one more time, rolling through. Remember what ankle you normally cross to come through. Cross the other one. Come through. Step or jump those legs back to plank. And lower down. Upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So good. Has it been 2 hours yet? It kind of feels like we went a long time, huh? All right, you guys, we're going to come through to a seated position. So from here, look forward. Come down however you'd like to. You can crawl, you can walk, jump, whatever. Whoa, I was just about to crawl and then I wanted to jump. I'm going to actually jump. All right, all the way down. Beautiful. Let's come to feet together, knees out to the side, to a Baddha Konasana position. So butterfly, scoop the flesh again, away from the sits bones, finding that little internal rotation of the thighs. All right, we're going to grab the outsides of the feet, open, lift the chest, pull the shoulders down, find as long of a spine as you can. I didn't really talk about the bandhas in this class at all. And if you want to learn a little more about the bandhas, if you've heard this term before, I do have a couple classes here in my channel. The Vinyasa Foundations 1 and 2, as well as the Pranayama workshops, I would highly recommend everyone taking. We get more into the subtle practices of asana, of Hatha Yoga. Why I'm mentioning that is if you're familiar with Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, even Jalandhar Bandha, see if you can find either or all three of those Mahabandha here. So as we lengthen, maybe a slight Mahabandha, and then when you're ready, taking it forward. Staying with the Ujjayi breath. We'll stay for a few more breaths coming forward. One more in. Full exhale. And slowly coming back up to a seated position, bringing those knees into the body. We're going to hug ourselves in as we scoot forward just a little bit on the mat. So coming toward the front part of your mat, my cat is calling for me. He speaks like a human, if you can hear him. All right, lift the feet up off the ground, you guys. Let's curl ourselves into a little ball. If you found that you rolled back, no big deal. See if you can just rock and roll yourself back up. Find yourself floating on the sits bones here, just hugging yourself into a little ball, working on finding those transverse abdominals, a little bit of control there. Let's go ahead and find Navasana when you're ready. From the ground, they can be out in front, they can be all the way to the sky. Hands reaching out when you're ready. And holding and breathing. Match the intensity with your breath. Don't hold the breath when it becomes intense. Nice breath in. And bend the knees. Let's do one more Vinyasa. Come through. Step or jump the feet back. When you're ready, exhale, lower. Upward facing Cobra, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. All right, back through to a seated position, you guys. When you're ready, I'm not going to jump this time. I'm just going to gently come through. We're going to bring those legs out. Feet hip width apart, knees bent. Make sure that you have space to roll onto your back because that's where we're going. When you're ready, arms forward, take a breath. And on your exhale, tuck the tailbone. Start to roll down nice and slow. When you get to your first point, you want to roll past that place that makes you shake and you just want to go, oh, I want you to see if you can come right back to it if you did roll past it. Take a moment, take an extra breath there. Breathe, smile, roll a little further, creating that abdominal control. If your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, cat, just kidding, not cat, but someone nearby, you can have them hold your feet. Just say, come over here, hold my feet. And then very, very slowly come all the way down to the ground. Maybe one day I'll teach a partner yoga class for you guys. Hands up over the head. Go ahead and take a big stretch from the hands to the feet. Just lengthen your entire body out on the earth. Big breath. And then let it go. Exhale, relaxing. And take a moment to just have some gratitude for the earth, for Pachamama, Miss Gaia Ma, this big, beautiful sphere that fuels our bodies every day, gives us a place to actually have a home. Otherwise, we would just be floating in space. Just take a moment to breathe. Feel the back of your heart, not the physical heart, the energetic heart, which comes through the front of your body, the sternum, and it also goes out the back, like all the chakras. Feel that heart center connected to the center of the earth. So if you can imagine the earth, having its own heart, maybe breathing with your heart energy and seeing if you can sync it up. The earth's heart energy. And yes, the earth has a heart energy. Just like the earth has a pulse. We've seen the seasons changing. You guys haven't seen the satellite images of the actual seasons changing and how the earth actually breathes. It's really cool. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and start to bend the knees. We're going to bring those legs back into the body. Tuck the tailbone first. So if you're here just to protect the lower back as you bend the knees and you tuck the tailbone, press the lower back down to the ground. As you press the lower back down to the ground, also feel the abdominal muscles draw in and up to do that. So feeling those transverse abdominals pulling the back flat to the ground. Then hips, feeling those muscles, also called the hitchhiker muscles, bringing those knees back up to the body. And the only reason why I say bring your awareness or feel them is because once we actually bring our awareness to our body in the way that it's all interconnected like this, then we can have awareness of it in our everyday lives. And we start to realize, wow, I have the ability to actually heal myself before something is going wrong, or noticing the connection of how it's all connected. And if sometimes you have a sore muscle in the neck or shoulder, a lot of times it's coming from the hip, and it's all connected. And when we become really intimate with the body and its functions, then we learn how to take care of ourselves without having to just go to a doctor or somebody else. All right, come to center and bring your left leg down to the ground. Hold your right knee in, squeeze that right knee in tightly to the body. And if you guys have a yoga strap, this is where you'd use it. You can place it around the ball of your right foot. All right, and then go ahead and extend the right leg to the sky. If you don't have a yoga strap, go ahead and just interlace your hands behind the right thigh. Bring the right leg up. Very important. Everyone, keep your head down and the shoulders down here. Start to walk those hands up. Choke down on the strap. If you don't have the strap, just go ahead and walk your hands up the calf to the ankle or toward the foot. And again, only as much as you can keep the head and shoulders down on the ground, okay? So maybe you're only here, and that's okay. Left foot is flexed, so check in with your left leg. Make sure that leg is also engaged as if you were standing on the ground, but we're on the back. And notice the earth is acting as like a wall, so our spine is long automatically. Getting a nice big hamstring stretch here. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that right leg a little over to the left. Now, if you have a strap, you grab it with your left hand. Right leg goes over to the left. If you don't have a strap, you can just keep that foot flexed as if you had one and allow that leg to come across the body. Now, you can also, if you don't have a strap, release your hands out to the side and allow that leg to come down. But again, we're pressing through the heel, flexing the foot, so you're feeling a nice big stretch through the outside of that right hip. T-band, hamstring. Come back to center, everybody. If you have that strap, you can pull your leg back up. If you don't, and your arms are open like mine, press into your left hand and lift your right leg back up. Good. Now we're going to reach up, grab the strap, or both hands reach and grab the leg, and we're going to lift up and lift the head toward the knee. So you're either holding onto the straps or you're holding onto your leg. Lift up, lower back, down. Very good. From here, hands down by your sides or out to the side if you want. You're going to lower that right foot down. Once it's all the way down, turn your palms up. Bring your hands down if they're not. Breath in. Exhale. Let everything just melt for a moment. If you want to take a little sigh, I would recommend that as well. A moment to be still. Allow all that movement to reverberate. And then we'll move on to the other side. So just like we did on the other side, first bending the knees, tucking the tailbone, using those transverse abdominals to press the lower back down. So feeling the navel, feeling the core nice and strong, lifting those knees up with your hip flexors, wrapping your arms around your legs, squeezing them in, rolling a little bit, maybe giving those kidneys a little massage. And then we're going to let the right leg come down this time. Now, as we do that, flex the foot so both legs are still engaged here. If you have the strap, go ahead and place the strap around the ball of your left foot. I would always recommend one. I usually have one to show you guys, but I don't have one with me right now. It's somewhere around the house. If you don't, grab the back of your left thigh with your hands, extend your left leg up, flex the foot. Now, keeping your head and shoulder back on the earth, go ahead and walk your hands, choking yourself up on the strap or walking your hands up the leg as much as you can keep the shoulders and head back. So if you're more flexible in the hamstrings, you're going to be able to grab the foot. Obviously, if not, then maybe stay at the back of the leg, wherever you are in this. Both feet are flexed, legs are engaged, so you're pressing out with strong legs. Breathe, of course. And then from here, we're going to rotate this left foot over to the right. Now, again, if you have the strap, you hold on to it with your right hand and you bring that left leg slowly over to the left. The foot is flexed. Both feet are flexed. Those of you who do not have a strap, arms can come out to the side, palms flat, and go ahead and rotate that left leg over to the right yourself, but keep that foot flexed, keep kicking the heel out. All right, so you're going to feel your own stretch here in that hip, IT band, and again, your hamstring. Just breathe, arms open, both feet flexed. Good. Press into your right hand. We're going to lift that left leg back up toward the sky and reach up with both hands, grabbing the strap again, or the leg with both hands, and then lift your face toward your knee or shin. Lower back down to the ground. And then nice and slow, release that leg. Let it float all the way back down, nice and slow to the ground. Once it's there, turn your palms up. You can press into the back of your head, scoop the shoulders down. Breath. Take a moment to completely relax your body. You can close your eyes here. Become still. Maybe feeling your pulse. And then if your feet are flopped out to the side, let's start by flexing the feet and turning the toes up. So feet straight up to, or toes rather, straight up toward the sky. If your eyes are closed, lift your gaze, bend your knees one at a time. Again, bringing your feet flat. Bring your hands down by your sides, palms facing down. Wiggle your elbows into the body. So go ahead and roll a little left and right, bringing those heels back up to the fingertips, and then let's press the hips up toward the sky for bridge. So we're almost complete, but this one we got to do. So drawing the hips or inner thighs toward one another, rather the inner thighs toward one another, and lifting the hips. All right, so feeling that internal and upward action happening from here. If you'd like to clasp your hands underneath your back, go ahead, interlace your fingers, but make sure and wiggle those elbows in as close as possible so you can draw the knuckles down toward your heels and your chest, your sternum up toward your chin. Make sure that spine is long, and breathe. So the neck included, the cervical spine is extended, holding this position. As you breathe in, allow your belly to inflate toward the sky. As you exhale, the belly draws down toward the spine. It's like a bellows. So inhale, again, belly lifts toward the sky. You're not pushing, you're just inflating. Exhale, empty. Breathing right into that stomach. Again, inhale. Exhale, empty. And one more inhale. And unclasp your hands as you exhale. Slowly lower the hips back down to the ground, you guys. Rest on your back for a moment. Walk your feet out wide. I want you to walk your feet to the left and right. So you're just kind of going knock-kneed here with wide knees, or wide feet, excuse me. Getting a little counter stretch from the outsides of your hips. Relaxing and breathing. Let's do a little tick-tocking to get a little more into the outsides of those hips. Right knee comes down toward the center of the mat. Left knee moves a little out to the left. Actively pressing down through that right knee. Do you hear my cat saying hello? He legitimately says hello when he meows, you guys. It's so weird. Do you hear? Did you just hear that? I have to let him in. Come on, Ninja. Come on. He won't stop unless I let him in. All right. Okay, guys, so we're going to do the other side. So from there, right, left knee down to the center. Actively pressing just gently that left knee down to the center of the mat. Right knee comes out to the right. Good. One more breath here. Making a nice, long, slow breath. And slowly back to center. All right, you guys, feet together, knees out to the side. Supta Baddha Konasana. From here, you can allow your arms to come out to the side. They can be down by your sides or up over your head, palms facing up, whatever option you're in. And we'll take 5 super long, slow. I'm going to count them for you. I want you to feel your way through those final breaths. And when you're completed, go ahead and just let your legs extend down. Allow your arms to float down by your sides. Turn your palms to face up. Press into the back of your head so that your shoulder blades draw down underneath you, and then find your way into Shavasana. So go through those steps at your own pace, no rush whatsoever. I'm going to let you find your way into that and turn my lights off. Again, no rush, going at your own pace. Once you find your way into your Shavasana, if you'd like to take a final breath, and then exhale out of the mouth. Final controlled breath, and then a total release of all control of the body and the breath. Give the space for this practice today to sink in energetically. Go ahead and begin deepening your breath very slowly, allowing your next breath to be a little longer than your last. Allowing that next breath to be longer than the last. Starting with the fingers and toes, maybe like you're waking up for the first time today. Taking your time, coming into larger movements of the wrists and the legs. And again, stretching like a good morning stretch, and then pulling the legs into the body as you're ready. And giving yourself a nice hug as you roll, maybe a little left and right if that feels good. And then all the way to one side, whatever side your body is feeling called to roll to. Taking a moment of rest on that one side. I always encourage the meditation process and the gentle stillness process to be taken as seriously, if not more, than the asanas, than the movement practices. And if you're ever feeling like you're craving deeper stillness or longer shavasana, then you should never deny yourself of that, because most likely you need that kind of rest, because we can sleep and sleep and sleep and still be missing that deep rest that we get in a shavasana when we do a really good practice. So go ahead and come back up when you're ready. Find your way to a seat, and we'll close at hands at heart center. Do a little prayer. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May our thoughts, words, and actions contribute to the happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace to all beings. Peace to you. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Before you rush off, take a moment, please. I'm going to turn on the lights. All right. Okay, you guys. So thank you if you're still here with me. Thank you for joining me with this practice today. I'm not sure who is still here. I can't see your faces. I know that you were even here. I do see a number. That's about it. I'd love to hear from you. If you're here from beach yoga, I might actually keep Wednesday. I think that Meetup still says we're doing one Wednesday. Originally, I wasn't going to. I was just going to do a Sunday, but I might actually do Wednesday. So hang on. Hopefully the weather's okay, and maybe we'll do beach yoga on Wednesday. And if not, then hopefully next Sunday at 6 o'clock, Atlantic Dunes Beach in Delray. If you're not from beach yoga, welcome still, wherever you're from. I'd still like to see where you're from. And again, this class is by donation, as are all my classes. 11 or 12 years now I've been teaching. So if you'd like to contribute, I will have that information on the link here, as well as I guess I'll post it on the video, or send me a direct message, please, if you have a question about how to donate, and I'll just give you that information directly as well. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day on this beautiful rainy Sunday here in South Florida and wherever you are. Again,